we go again?
Oh, no, not again.
You've seen it before, haven't you?
Dom, how long have we been doing this?
Once more unto the bridge. Dear friends.
Again and again and again until we're both dead.
Hello and welcome to You've Seen It Before, movie reviews of connections in mind. Pokemon Detective Pikachu is directed by Rob Letterman and stars Ryan Reynolds as the voice of Detective Pikachu and Justice Smith as Tim, the son of a detective who is believed killed under mysterious circumstances. And when Tim goes into the city where Pokemon and humans live in harmony, he finds out that his father's partner, a Pokemon known as Detective Pikachu, has no memory of himself, but feels that if he has survived the accident in which his father was believed killed, then Tim's father himself could be alive, and Pikachu and Tim partner up to uncover the mystery of where his father may end up being, as well as a deeper mystery of what the mysterious substance known as R is doing on the streets, and what is its effect on the Pokemon of this city, and what the greater threat is underneath all of this. Now, this video review will contain spoilers of Pokemon Detective Pikachu as well as certain other films. There'll be a full list in the description below, and if you have not seen Detective Pikachu yet or any of the films listed below, you may want to stop the video at this point and come back later. But with this in mind, I'm going to do a spoiler-free review and thoughts on Detective Pikachu first before I get into my spoiler-filled analysis of this film. So first, let's just get into some general thoughts on Pokemon Detective Pikachu as a whole. Being as how this is the first live-action Pokemon movie to come out, this is sort of the experiment for all of the other potential franchise opportunities that this could offer as far as a live-action Pokemon universe. We've already had many animated Pokemon films up to this point, but first off, the main questions to be asked in this movie is: does the live-action animation characters hold up? And is this a good movie overall and just worthy of a sequel? I would say, for the most part, the animation of the live-action Pokemon looks fantastic. I mean, we made some great strides into making these kinds of characters look real alongside real human interactions in live settings, and I feel like this movie does blend these things seamlessly for the most part in these settings and between these characters, and props should be given to especially the design of Detective Pikachu himself. This feels like what a live-action Pikachu would look like translated from the drawings of the show into a live-action setting. Some of the characters seem a little bit off, at least just based on what my perceptions would be. Like, Gyarados looks about right, but has interactions maybe not. The Charizard in this, he looks pretty good, but then again, some of the textures don't look quite how I would imagine them, but that's up to everyone's interpretation of it and how everyone approaches this film. On the whole, I would say everything looks fantastic. Cinematography is amazing. There aren't a lot of like super fast cuts in this film. Everything seems pretty streamlined going into this, and as well as characters, the character dynamic and the heart of this film is the interaction between Tim, who is played by Justice Smith, and Detective Pikachu, as voiced by Ryan Reynolds, and that interaction is phenomenal. I have had a blast watching them. I thought the best parts of this movie are when we have just Justice Smith's Tim and Detective Pikachu interacting with one another, and it's pretty much just them and a couple other people in the room. Those are the best scenes of this movie, and I thought props to be given. This is in the trailer, but I won't give anything away, obviously, but the full the scene with Justice Smith's Tim and Detective Pikachu interrogating Mr. Mime, they didn't give away half of what was going on in that scene in the trailer, and it was hilarious. I loved that scene. Unfortunately, however, that's about around the film's halfway point, and I feel like the film kind of peaked at that point. Rest of the movie was starting to go downhill from there, in my opinion. I feel like the novelty of seeing all these live action Pokemon, I was kind of getting caught up in seeing the world and all these Pokemon interact with the humans, and the novelty of Tim and Detective Pikachu trying to get to know one another is the best part of this film. But right around the halfway point, they start to get to know one another a little better, and then from then on in, the story itself, I feel like it's just kind of generic and not very interesting. There is one twist at the very end of this film, which obviously I'm not going to give away in this portion of the video, but I figured going in, I had the thought of what the twist was going to be, and I had forgotten about it. I hadn't thought about it going through the rest of the movie, but when it came up, it's like, oh, hey, I was actually right the whole time. So that's kind of the sort of story that you can expect in this film, and I feel like aside from all the great visuals and everything, and that initial Ryan Reynolds, Justice Smith interaction, this film doesn't really add anything. There's another character, the girl who's trying to be a reporter in this film, and she has a Psyduck for a partner. I felt like her character is just entirely pointless, so much so that I don't even remember her name off the top of my head. And the movie was trying to push her as a potential love interest for Tim, but it really didn't work. And I didn't know anything about this girl other than the fact that she wanted to be a reporter, and she was being kind of dumped on by her higher ups in her news organization, and that was about it. That was the entirety of her character, and I don't really think that her character is really necessary to the story, and it kind of bogged it down. And the main antagonist of this film, we don't necessarily know who it is until the very end, of course, even though we have some suspicions, but the main antagonist or antagonists of the story, again, they aren't really that interesting, I feel like. They seem kind of run-of-the-mill characters, and they don't really do anything to make this film stand out in any way. I thought this film was great for killing, I think it was an hour and 44-minute runtime. It's good for killing about that time. It was very entertaining for that time, but overall, I think this is just kind of forgettable. And in my opinion, I don't think this is really franchise launch material. The visuals look great. The Ryan Reynolds and Justice Smith interaction was great. Like I said, the Mr. Mime scene was hilarious in my opinion, but other than that, there's really not much to say to this. I would say if I was going to give this a rating, I'd give this a solid C. This is just kind of an average film. Nothing terrible, nothing outstanding. It's just kind of run-of-the-mill. So those are my spoiler-free thoughts of the Pokemon Detective Pikachu. Now for some spoiler-filled analysis as to where you may have seen things before if things seem familiar, which a couple of things really should have, especially that finale with the balloons of the Pokemon parade filled with the chemical Agent R or whatever the chemical is that our main villain, and turns out, is the founder of this city, played by Bill Nye. Not the science guy, the other Bill Nye. And the gas is filling out of the balloon in order to infect all of these people. There are really two different ways that this is familiar. One, the obvious one, was the gas filled with balloons. I would point to the 1989 Batman with Joker filling his parade floats with Joker gas and affecting all Gotham that way. The second way could be because the main antagonist feels like he's doing a service for the people of this city by transforming them against their will into by merging them with their partner Pokemon, because he feels that becoming one with the Pokemon is the way of the future and that people will be able to live better that way. That reminded me a lot of the Lizard's plan from The Amazing Spider-Man, the first Amazing Spider-Man, in which Lizard's tried to transform all of New York with his gas into his mutagenic gas into lizards, because lizards are in fact, in his mind, superior beings, and he feels like he's doing the world a service in that regard. So those are my main points of comparison to this film. If any spoiler talk to go with it, like I said, I didn't allude to it in my spoiler-free section, but if you made it this far, then hopefully you've seen the movie. And like I said, the twist with Ryan Reynolds' Detective Pikachu, in fact, being Tim's father in the body of his Pokemon, I saw that, that was my prediction from right when the credits started rolling in the beginning, and I had forgotten about it, and then when the twist came about, it's like, yep, I kind of predicted that, so that's the kind of twist we were dealing with, and I thought that was just very disappointing. And but overall, those are my thoughts on Detective Pikachu. What did you think of the movie overall? Did you like it? Did you not like it? What about my analysis? Do you agree with it? Do you disagree with it? I probably missed something. Let me in the analysis. Did I miss anything? Probably. Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate whatever audience I can get. Be sure to look for my next movie review, which is for John Wick 3, John Wick Chapter 3, I should say, Parabellum, which comes out next week, so be sure to look for that on my channel. Also, if you're interested, I've done the movie review, TV reviews, I should say. I've done both episode reactions and overall reviews of both Season 2 of The Orville and Season 2 of Star Trek Discovery. Be sure to look for those on my channel, and if you're still in the TV reviewing mood, be sure to look for my review of Stranger Things Season 3, which will be coming out July 4th. So it's a little ways away, but mark your calendars for that. It's going to be awesome. So again, thank you so much for watching. And if you like whatever you see on this video or anywhere on my channel, please like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate it. So there you have it. Those are my review. But just remember, there is nothing new under the sun. And yes, you have seen it before.